Hello everyone and welcome to Cover 2 TV. I'm Steve Hort, this is Tom Jennings, and we are we are both here to talk about free agency. A couple of weeks ago, Jenno, Chris and I sat and we talked about the quarterbacks who are in free agency as well as in the draft, and Jenno predicted where they will all land come next season or come this off season. If you look in the description below, you can find a link and there'll also be a clip at the end, so I do encourage you to go and watch that show as well. But obviously, it's just quarterbacks who are available in free agency. Everyone's available, you know, position-wise. So, going down a similar path, we've asked Jenno to come up, you know, 10 free agents that I've give Jenno the names of top players in this free agents class, who Jenno is going to predict where they land as well. Just to let you guys know, we've left the likes of Drew Brees, Le'Veon Bell, DeMarcus Lawrence off because it's being pretty much reported that they're all getting franchise tagged. Allen Robinson as well, they're probably going to franchise tag him. So these are the guys who we expect to hit the open market, or at least not tested and maybe not be franchise tagged. And just going to get a little chat where we think they're going to end up. There's some good names, some big names, some intriguing players, some on the way up, some on the way down. I think it'll be well worth doing. So Jenno, let's start off then. I went through the NFL.com's top 101 free agents, and the highest name that we saw on there, who we don't think is going to be franchise tagged, was Sheldon Richardson. Obviously Seattle traded for him. They've had 1 year out of him. He's been a good player. I don't think he's a good fella by all accounts. You know, he's got that about him, but he's certainly a very impactful player. Someone's going to probably pay him a lot of money. Who did you predict that will be?
So I've got two places where he might go. The first one being is staying in Seattle. Yeah. I think he might, because they invested a lot. You know, they gave up a pick. They invested a lot in him. They might see, you know, you got Michael Bennett's getting a lot older. That defense.
Yeah, there was talk that they were going to let him go. There was talk that they might trade Earl Thomas. So they need something, yeah.
So they need that little bit more of a fresher, younger player. But whether Sheldon Richardson's plays impressed them enough, so I think he's either going to stay in Seattle, or the other place I had him going, which was my more interesting pick, was Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay. And I went for them because the defensive line coach of the New York Jets, when Sheldon Richardson was a Pro Bowl player, when he first came out in the draft, and everyone thought he was, you know, when the Jets had that line that looked excellent, the envy of the league, before it turned out they were all knobheads, and it didn't go very well for the Jets. The same defensive line coach, I thought that was the only real place where I think someone else might think, well, we can get what we had out of them. I think the Steelers are the kind of organisation where they think, we can fix a fella, we can take a bit of a prick and we can make him into a decent fella. And
yeah, I think wherever he goes, it would be a disaster, I think, if he went somewhere where you would class as a weak locker room, you know, somewhere where you think, you know, a bit of trouble causing, because he's got that in, he's obviously done that, that's why he's no longer in New York. But Seattle's got a strong dressing room, locker room, for example. Pittsburgh for sure would have a strong locker room. Like, if he went to the New York Giants now, which has been a bit of a mess, I think it would be an absolute disaster. That type of thing.
If he went to the Cowboys, he'd be arrested in 2 weeks and in jail.
He's got to go somewhere where he's going to be kept in line, and I think ultimately I think I'd probably agree that he ends up staying in Seattle, because given a pick-up for one season, it seems a little bit short-sighted. But again, they've seen him, they've had a year of him, and if they don't fancy him, then that'll be two red flags, won't it? That'll be in New York and Seattle. So we'll see how that one goes. Personally, one of the guys I am really, really intrigued with is Malcom Butler. Obviously, you know Malcom Butler well. There's no chance he's staying in New England, because if he was, he'd have played probably in the Super Bowl. You think he might stay?
No, I don't. I think if what has happened to New England, if no one else goes for him, New England's a take him at discount price. So I would genuinely see that one.
Well, he's under contract for, is it one more? So he can just sign him for a bargain basement price. Yeah.
So if he was willing to take that, then I think they would, because, you know, didn't say New England's very business-like.
Would you see him doing that?
No,
though?
I don't think he would. But I found it hard to place Malcom Butler, because I just don't. That year, he did not have a good last year for New England. If he was coming off free agency last year, he'd have made massive money, and he would have been very highly thought of. But he's just had a poor year in New England. So I thought about it. I had two places that I thought, this one is the one I think this team should do it, which I think the Cleveland Browns would go and pay him. Yeah. I think the Cleveland Browns, if you went and paid, this is just a way to fix the Browns, if you went and paid Butler, put him opposite Jason McCourty, who was quietly one of the best cornerbacks last season, then you got Miles Garrett, I said Miles Jack. Then if you went and took the first pick with Donald, second pick with another best pass rusher, and then you got Jane Collins and suddenly you're starting to put on a good defence. That would be a good idea, but I don't see that's not a Browns move.
I think he would. It's whether he would.
Yeah.
Depends what's his ambitions. Is he money? Is it just basically money? Is it I want to win? Is it a bit of both? So who's your other pick?
So then I've actually got 3, so I've just thought of another one here who I completely forgot about last night. The other one is the Saints, because that's where he was talking about going the last season. But again, even the Saints, they refused to pay him, and that was, well, they refused to pay the ransom that Patriots wanted for him, and that's why that didn't happen. So I think that's what.
And they went and got themselves a star corner last year in the draft in Lattimore.
But
you can have two, don't you?
You always want. You can never have too many corners. Absolutely. I've never heard a team like that. And then finally, I just fits on the team that, with all the character concerns, there's obviously one man who's going to know exactly what he's getting from Malcom Butler, and that is Matt Patricia. So I've put him in the Detroit Lions. That was like the place I've really put him on the paper, because I just thought everyone else might be a bit like, what are we getting here? What are we getting here? Whereas Matt Patricia knows exactly what he's getting, and if there's other reasons why his play declined in New England, he'll know why. So he'll be the man who will feel like he'll be able to fix him. And
although his play declined, he's still very much a starting caliber corner. I mean, if you listed the best 64 corners in the NFL, he's certainly in the top. I think he's in the top half at least. He's a very, as a Green Bay Packers fan, I would love the Green Bay Packers to go out and sign Malcom Butler. I think he's outstanding. I think he did have a bad year last year, but there was obviously loads going on. You know, he wanted to leave the year before, he wanted to get paid. Maybe he was in a little bit of a hissy fit. Obviously, something happened at the Super Bowl, so I think he's a really, really good player. And I hope Green Bay get him, and I'd be annoyed for certain if Matt Patricia did take him to the
Detroit. Well, the reason why I was thinking about the Lions is I think it's that division as well. That you need a corner, you need good corners if you're playing Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I say, the Vikings, we don't know what's going to go on there as well. So yeah, absolutely, I'm with you there. One of the less sexy positions, I suppose, is the offensive line and guard in particular, but anyone who watches the NFL will know offensive line play in the NFL at the moment is probably at its worst. It's been since I can remember watching. I mean, I've been watching for God on 20 years now, and it's as bad as it's ever been. There's a ton of reasons for that, you know, training and college schemes, and basically defensive linemen are just too good athletic now. So guards, and you know, we saw Kevin Zeitler last year get a massive amount of money. Now Andrew Norwell from the Carolina Panthers, he's probably going to hit free agency because the Panthers spent a lot last year on 2 other free agents. Can they afford to pay him again? It's unlikely. Will they franchise tag a guard? Possibly, I don't know, but it seems unlikely. A lot of teams need that offensive line help. You could name 15 teams here. What did you plan for?
So the one I've went for is the New York Giants. This one was one of the few ones where it's just, that's the team I think he goes. I think New York Giants are going to sit there. They wrongly believe in Eli, and I'm willing to go on on record and say that I think he's done, but they wrongly believe that if they fix their offensive line and maybe take Saquon Barkley, then you take Norwell, probably the best offensive lineman in the draft. Not in the draft, in free agency, and then they think that'll fix their problems. So that's where I think they're going, because I think they're going to throw cash at them. Yeah,
they need it. That offensive line last year was absolutely horrendous, and if they are planning on taking Saquon Barkley, which by all accounts there's a very good chance they do at number 2, then they need someone to at least make an attempt at making a hole for him. And I wouldn't be surprised again. He could go anywhere because, like I say, there's 15 teams who need offensive line.
Who's really going to sit there and turn him down?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a starting caliber guard. If you've got money, you know, someone like the Jets, someone like San Francisco, there's who've got all the money, you know, all the cap room. The Chicago Bears have just let Josh Sitton go. They could do it because again, it's just the play in the league is just so poor at the moment. So recap very quickly. You've got Richardson either staying in Seattle or going to Pittsburgh. Malcom Butler, you're thinking Detroit. Andrew Norwell, the New York Giants. Let's move on to another corner. Again, one I'm quite looking forward to going, hopefully maybe to Green Bay, and I'm looking at your notes and you haven't put him there. It's Trumaine Johnson. Obviously, I think he's a really, really good player. The Rams have just traded for Marcus Peters, so there's no way, they can't afford to keep Trumaine Johnson, so we haven't franchise tagged him a couple of times. They're now going to let him go. Where have you got him?
I've got him going to the Oakland Raiders.
Okay,
I think
they definitely need cornerback.
They need corner help. I mean, they went big on Sean Smith a few years ago and that didn't work out. I think they're going to try and see if they can get out of that contract. Even if they're not, they need to go and get a corner. And I think Trumaine Johnson, most of reading is like, I had a little look to see where the clickbait was saying he was going. It seemed also to be the Raiders, so I think that one just makes sense. They're desperate for the corner.
Yeah, again, I Green Bay's new GM, Brian Gutekunst, has been saying like he will be a bit more active in free agency than Ted Thompson was, which isn't really that hard. That just means being active in free agency.
That just means making one phone call.
Actually lifting the phone to borrow signing somebody. And I think one of the places they might go is corner. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're in for a big physical corner. I like Trumaine Johnson. I think he's really, really good. I'm surprised the Rams haven't decided against that, but
if you can get Peters,
you can only pay so many players. I mean, when you pay, they've got to make room for Aaron Donald. They've got to pay him. They've got to pay Todd Gurley in a couple of years' time. So they've got a lot going on.
That's why they're getting rid of Tavon Austin.
They've got a lot. They've got a lot to manage with, and a lot to deal with. So I'm surprised, but I think he's a really, really good player. But like I say, Marcus Peters, when you get a chance to go and get him, by all means do so. Another big name, one who some people have been down on this guy. I still think he's not as effective as he was, but he's still like an ultimate red zone target. Tight end Jimmy Graham, obviously. We know him mainly, obviously, he had a great couple of years with Drew Brees in New Orleans. He went to Seattle, and although it didn't really fit, he was very much a red zone target. He was an amazing red zone target. He caught a lot of touchdowns. Where have you got Jimmy Graham?
Well, see, he was a difficult one to place because it's just what can he do anymore? And
it's a red zone target.
Basically, all he is a red zone target. So I thought about it, and I thought, well, Bill O'Brien was in New England when New England went for the two tight end sets with Gronkowski and the other guy who we don't name.
We can say Hernandez. We can call.
Alright, then fair enough. The guy who decided to shoot people.
Yeah, looks like the murdering fella.
Yeah, so I think Jimmy Graham always felt had a very similar game anyway to Aaron Hernandez. He was just a bit more of a jump ball catcher, whereas Hernandez was more of he had a better hit movement.
And he didn't kill people.
Yeah, also Jimmy Graham did not kill people. As far as we know, I'm going to say Jimmy Graham is a better person than Hernandez.
And he's also alive.
Yeah, well, again, that also helps.
Yeah.
But so I think you go to the Texans. I think that's the best place for him. I think that gives Deshaun Watson a good target, and it takes some pressure off Hopkins.
Yeah, I think someone's going to bargain with Jimmy Graham. Like I say, tight ends are undervalued anyway. It's ridiculous how low they're paid considering what they are. Take Gronk off New England. Take Zach Ertz off Philly, or
take Kelsey off.
Take Kelsey off. Those Chiefs, and they are very, very underpaid. I agree. I'm not sure Jimmy Graham as a every down tight end. He can't block for a start. So he's never blocked anyone. So. You probably couldn't block that on Twitter.
That used to annoy the crap out of me when we used to talk about the best tight ends, and they go, "Is it Jimmy Graham? Is it Gronkowski?" Be screaming, Jimmy Graham can't block. He's
a glorified wide receiver.
He's just a tall wide receiver.
He's a very, very good red zone. And listen, if you get your 10 touchdowns in the red zone, there's definitely value to him. I think that's a good pick actually. In my head I hadn't put him there. I'd actually been thinking maybe the Colts. That's where I had him in my head, but I agree. I think Houston would be a very good one. Like say. Two very, very good red zone options. If you've got Nuke Hopkins and then you've got Jimmy Graham, all the best trying to cover that.
And then you've got all that speed that they got in Fuller and the other guy.
Anyway. That's a really good option. Actually, I didn't even think of that, so it's a really good one. Another potential red zone option, a guy who injuries kind of derailed Sammy Watkins a little bit. Although I thought he was quite good last year. He just didn't really get a lot of targets because their offense kind of went through Gurley and Cooper Kupp and a bit of Robert Woods, but. If you watch a bit of Sammy Watkins last year, defenses still respected him. He was double teamed a lot at the beginning of the season. By the end of the season, I think everyone was trying to stop Gurley and Cooper Kupp, understandably so. But if he's healthy, I think Sammy Watkins has definitely got value for somebody. Where did you end up putting him?
I'd put him at the Titans. The Titans need a wide receiver. Please, just give Mariota someone to throw to. I think they tried Decker, and I was surprised how poorly that turned out. I always thought Decker was always a good offense, at least a red zone target, but injuries and it was just a bad season and an awful offense, which is why he got fired because he was terrible. So I put him at the Titans. I think they could do it. I think Mariota getting a good big guy. I mean, Watkins is also fast.
I like him. He's just been injured.
I think he is a good. Again, I always bring this up. He was taken before people like Odell Beckham for a reason. He's a really good wide receiver. It's just injuries have limited them. But you're not any good if you're not in the field. But I still think that's where they're still.
He might not be a 1, but he's definitely he's either a low end 1 or a high end 2.
Yeah.
He might not. He's not a Beckham. He's not a Brown. He's not a Jones. But he's certainly gets. He'll be the best receiver on a lot of rosters. And if you put him on a roster with someone who's got a 1, then I think he could be amazing. I think he's going to Chicago. That would be my guess.
That was
speaking of teams who need receivers.
Yeah, that was the other one I was looking at.
They need something. They have got nothing.
I was kind of thinking Landry's going to Chicago, and I don't think they're getting the two of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, maybe they could trade for him for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely. Again, another lineman, someone you know quite well, Nate Solder. Not a great left tackle, a good left tackle, starting caliber left tackle. Certainly, I had this conversation with Chris last week or 2 weeks ago. Probably if you ranked the top 32, we'd be 16 or above, around there. So that's valuable. Again, we went through earlier with Norwell how hard it is to find tackles. Where did you end up putting Nate Solder?
So the thing with Nate Solder, I've watched him for years, and I'm not his biggest fan, but I'm also not a big detractor of Nate Solder. He is what he is. He's a starting left tackle in the league, and they're hard to come by. So many teams would have to pay him. But sadly for him, I think because of his family life situation, he's not leaving Boston. He's not going to be willing to move his son. Because anyone have a look into that story, I don't really want to go into it here because it's quite sad. So I think he's just going to take a hometown discount and stay with the Patriots because he won't move his family. Yeah. That's all I see that.
And on the field as well, why, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I mean, you don't have to pay him an extortionate amount. You can pay him a decent amount, and Tom Brady would be like, yeah, Nate Solder, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
move on.
You don't need to move on from Solder. I don't think the Patriots look to move on from Solder. I think they'll just look for, if you want to take this, we want to keep you, and I think he's going to go, well, this is the way my life is, this is I want to stay here. I believe though if he wants to test free agency and he's willing to move, he'll get paid big money because there's just no one else out there.
You could in theory see him staying in the northeast. Couldn't you? Know what I mean, in theory, I agree. Obviously, again, his son is very ill, and he might want to stay in that area. But if he decided, you know, everything's fine, he's okay for now, and maybe I can, again, New York, it's a couple of hours away, or Philadelphia need a left, maybe.
They don't need a left.
Well, he's getting old. He's getting old. They might. There's talk to they might get rid of Peter. Just again, salary cap there. Oh, the Eagles are over the cap as we speak, or something again. Something, you know, the Jets could do with a left tackle. Anyone in that northeast area, but again, ultimately, you know, whatever's best for him and his family, by all means. I really like this player. I like Kyle Fuller, and I'm surprised the Bears have let him hit free agency again. We're recording this on Monday morning. By the time this goes out, he could be franchise tagged. There could be something going on. He could be signed. But as it stands, Kyle Fuller is about to hit free agency. I've watched the Packers play against him, and I think he's really good. I'm surprised he is. The Bears are talent deprived even, but that's a weird Monday morning.
This is still Sunday night for me.
Yeah, you're still a little bit to bed, yeah. But where do you think he ends up?
I've got him staying with the Bears. I think he from what he's saying, he kind of wants to stay with the Bears. I think the Bears want him. I just think it's about getting that money right. So maybe even, I think they're going to get him before free agency starts. I think they're going to sign to a long-term contract. But maybe it's one of them where they go, test your market, learn your value, and then we'll pay you whatever that is.
I could see them franchise tagging them as well.
Yeah.
I mean, is he worth top 5 corner money? Maybe not, but the Bears have got a lot of cap room. You've got to spend it somewhere.
Yeah.
Obviously they're going to go and get receivers because they need someone to catch it, but I ultimately agree. Again, he's another one I wouldn't mind the Packers taking a run at.
Basically any cornerback.
Any starting level cornerback. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got none. Yeah. Kevin King looks like he could be one. He's obviously a rookie or coming into a second season. But on the other side, just get me someone.
Just anyone.
Get me absolutely anyone. Another player you know well, I've got on my list here. Running back Dion Lewis. Now, Dion Lewis is an odd one because he was nothing for a while. He was doing nothing. He went to go to New England. He explodes. He gets the injury. I don't know. Can you see him? He's got the skill set to be a 3-down back. He could be your feature back, but his size and his health maybe put you off that slightly. But he's still a very, very good weapon if he's playing well. Where do you expect him to go?
So Dion Lewis was a hard place because I think you're stupid if you go and pay Dion Lewis to be your starting running back because basically he can't do it. His body breaks down. I mean, it's mad that when we first on him, he was like a joystick and he cheated past everyone. It was amazing to watch him run. Now he's pretty much just a straight down runner with a one cut, but he's still pretty effective. And the fact that he can catch, I think the 49ers are going to be the ones who give him it because I think the 49ers are going to get rid of Hyde because Hyde can't catch. They're going to like the fact that he can catch and he can be a 3rd-down guy. And I imagine they're going to add someone in the draft, like in the middle of the draft, just to take some pressure off him.
I mean, you could see him doing the Tevin Coleman role, kind of, that in the Kyle Shanahan offensive 2 seasons ago in Atlanta. So he's the 3rd-down back, comes in and catches the ball, but Coleman can run between the tackles as well. It wasn't like he's on the field, this is a passing down. He can You know, Dion Lewis is the same, and that's a really good fit. Actually, I didn't even again consider it, but I think Kyle Shanahan could do a lot of good things.
I think it's going to be, so with Dion Lewis, I just think it's going to be, someone's going to look at that and go, he fits our offence. Not let's build around him, because that would be stupid, but just he fits our offence. Yeah, I think that's where.
I think it's a really, really good interest, and I think he'd do well there as well. Actually, I think that makes sense. Again, I'm a big fan of Shanahan's offence. How can you not be?
Exactly.
Got to team him up with Jimmy Garoppolo, and away you go. Patriots B.
So many Patriots B's now. I don't know the sport anymore. Because the Titans, the Texans, the Lions.
Just stick with the Patriots, you'll be fine. AFC title game 2018-19. Don't worry, about. You mentioned Carlos Hyde, then he's the last guy on this top 10 list. I speak to my friends about Carlos Hyde, people I respect their opinions of, and people seem very down on him, and maybe I'm the opposite. I think he's really good on first and second down. Don't put him on the field on third down, but I think he's a good runner. I think he's an athletic runner. I think he's a powerful runner. I think I've always thought, you know, he's been stuck on some absolute garbage offences, but he's always been a somewhat of a shining light. But again, Kyle Shanahan wants a little bit more from his running back, so it looks like he's going to go. What have you done with Carlos Hyde?
Well, I'm with you. I think Carlos Hyde's been the best player on the 49ers until Jimmy G showed up. He's amazing. He's beautiful. He throws beautiful passes, and I miss him more, I think. But yeah, I couldn't understand why they don't value him at all, but that's the way it seems. They just do not value him. So I had to think, and I thought, what team really needs a running back is the Colts.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they've got like the inconvenience through Frank Gore.
He's a free agent.
But
but yeah, they could do it.
I think go and get Carlos Hyde, go and get a proper running back. Because as much as Frank Gore did it,
Frank Gore was good, but you can Carlos Hyde would exploit that better than what Frank Gore could.
It's like 2 yards in a cloud of dust with Frank Gore. At least with Carlos Hyde, to have a little bit more of explosion, and I think that would be a better way to go about the Colts.
I like Carlos Hyde. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. And let me so recap then. Let's go. Sheldon Richardson, Seattle or the Steelers. You've split your bet on there. Pick one.
I'm gonna say Seattle.
So Sheldon Richardson to Seattle. We've got Malcom Butler to the Lions. We've got Norwell to the Giants. Trumaine Johnson to the Raiders. Jimmy Graham to the Texans. Sammy Watkins to the Titans. Nate Solder stays with the Patriots. Kyle Fuller stays with the Bears. Dion Lewis goes and joins Jimmy Garoppolo in San Francisco, and Carlos Hyde leaves San Francisco to join the Indianapolis Colts with Andrew Luck on his one arm, or Jacoby Brissett running that division. So, absolutely, I agree. There's some very, very interesting picks. If you had to pick out of all of those guys, just off again, I'm going to throw this on you. Who gets the biggest contract in terms of guaranteed money first?
Guaranteed money.
I think I would pick. If it's me just to go first, I think Trumaine Johnson will get the most guaranteed money out of that lot.
I think it's going to be Kyle Fuller.
Right, okay, fair enough. Yeah. So there you go. Please, in the comment section below, those 10 names, list down who you know, those 10 names. In fact, what I'll do, I'll put them in the description for you. Copy paste in the comments. Tell us where you think they're going to go. If anyone gets 10 out of 10, I'll give you a massive shout out post free agency or when we go through that show, because that'll be amazing if you can do that. In fact, whoever gets the most, I'll give a shout out to. If you can beat Jenno, I'll give you a shout out. There you go.
There's everyone shout out.
It's going to be a show of shout outs next week. We'll sort this out. Let me again. Maybe do you want one of your teams to sign one of these players? Green Bay Packers. I would love a cornerback. Again, put that in the comment section below. While you're there, thumbs up on the video, please. And if you're not subscribed, please do so as well. Like I say, before we finish, Jenno's quarterback rankings and quarterback carousel is also on the channel again in the description below, and I'll put a link up. Probably about now it'll be appearing. We'll be back next week, probably slightly later in the week, because we're going to recap the first couple of days of free agency when a lot of these guys are going to become a lot richer. Jenno, thanks very much. Good work as always. That's been Cover 2 TV. I've been Steve Hoare. That's been Tom Jennings, and we'll see you all soon. Goodbye.